Good morning again. My name is Molly Engelman, and this is part 3 of our Swanton Pacific Railroad walk around. And I am here in front of College Station down in the meadow at Swanton Pacific Railroad. As you can see, College Station was not burned, was not harmed in any way by the CZU Lightning Complex Fire of August 2020. We're almost a year after the fire. The meadow is awfully dry right now because the irrigation is not running to it and hasn't been cut for a while either. Our water tower is still there. You can see the caboose is kind of up there in the background a little bit. The hillside, I'll get to a better spot here. The hillside behind the station got a little crispy and burned a bunch of vegetation, but from here it actually looks really good. And we still have some green trees and they've come back a little bit. We do have some charred trees that will need to go away, but overall we are really lucky. I'm standing kind of out in the middle of the meadow area. Sorry guys, it's been a while. And we still have all the picnic tables. We still have the barbecue pits. We still have the couple of big trees right there where during run days we would set up a podium, and that's where all the speeches would take place, was right there between those trees or underneath those trees. And yeah, the meadow's not really maintained right now, but it's okay, it's still here. So College Station was pretty much pre-built at Cal Poly and then assembled up here at Swanton Pacific Railroad. And we were very happy it's still here. There's been some maintenance over the years to keep it in good condition, but it's still here and it's doing quite well. So the benches are a little worse for wear, but not because of the fire. The benches are because it's been outside. So this is our double track here in front of the station. Needs a little maintenance, but it's not bad. It's still here, and you can see a different angle on the water tower. Horseshoe pits, they were very popular during run days, still there. A little bit better view of the hillside here that we've got behind the station, and our little Christmas tree nursery. So I'm going to walk down track just a little bit. I'm not going to go very far. I'll do another video later of walking down track. But I am going to do a little side note over here. Over in this garden bed, it is incredibly overgrown, but there are 3 rose bushes that used to be in front of the car shop. And again, I'm sorry guys, it's really overgrown. It's kind of hard to see, but there are 3 rose bushes in here and they are all 3 alive and well, if not just a little dry. But those 3 rose bushes were, from what I understand, originally from the garden of Al Smith's mother, and they have survived the fire. Yes, they were in front of the car shop, and when we were back here in March, we saw that they were starting to grow back, so we knew the building was going to be demolished, and we saved the rose bushes. If you've ever been here for New Year's Eve, you're very familiar with the bonfire pit. We're not using it right now, obviously. It's too dry and there's too much potential for bad things. It's a little overgrown, but it's not bad. Down here towards the end of the station lead, we call it San Vicente Junction. We still have our signals. We've got a couple there. We've got a larger signal over here. They're still here. They were not burned in the fire. And then we also have the 2 metal car bodies over here for the other 2 Keystone cars. The one up the hill is still on its trucks, and these 2, it was much easier to take them off of the trucks and move them that way. There's some pictures floating around of when we did that back in March, but this is where they're at. And these 2 are straight enough that we believe we can rebuild these at a later date. And then we also have part of one of the other metal cars here on the ground as well. So we believe that we can rebuild these at some point in time. It's going to be much later, but that's where they are. Again, these were built by Keystone Light Railway Company back in Pennsylvania back in the 60s, and came with our 502 diesel and the smaller hopper car that was in a previous video. So I'm just going to walk a little bit further down track here because there's only a little bit more track at this point in time. And that is because we have a washout further down. And it was planned to take out the track down to the washout so that we could get equipment down there to repair the washout. And about as far as you can see on the camera there is about as far as the track goes. There's a switch right there by the sign for San Vicente Junction. And that's the end of our track right now. There's not much past that switch. And once the washout work is completed, then the track will go back in. That's the plan anyway. This part of the hillside I think was fine, but up a little farther, you can see some scorched trees still through the greenery. So there are some things that are coming back. There are some things that are growing. And there are some things that are still charred and brown. So, just for a point of reference, I'm down here where the track splits in 3 directions. We've got the 2 tracks that go in front of the station. And then this one to my right goes up the hill around the corner. Looks like we've got another tree down in the way there. And up the hill and goes past the cabooses and goes up to the roundhouse. Here's just kind of another view of this end of the meadow area. This has always been a firewood pile used for the bonfires down here. Again, there's one of the lights that is just fine because the fire wasn't anywhere near it. And I'll just kind of walk up the platform here. Another view of College Station. And in the background on the hill, way back there, you can kind of see where it burned. And kind of up here to my left, you can see there's green trees. And then there's burnt sticks up on the top of that hill. So again, this is at the Swanton Pacific Railroad. I'm down here in the meadow near College Station. And we'll do another video. This was part 3 of, I don't know how many parts there's going to be, but part 3 of several. And there will be more videos. I'll do another one going down track a little farther. And we'll take a look at the Silver Bridge.